welcome back to our channel. Have you ever wondered why motivation just seems to vanish when you need it most? Like right when you need it most, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. And what if I told you there's a secret to building motivation that doesn't burn out?
Ooh, a secret.
A secret. Today we'll uncover how knowing your why can transform that fleeting inspiration into powerful and sustainable motivation.
I love it.
So in this deep dive, we're going straight into the motivation myth.
Okay.
Then we'll help you with discovering your true why, figure out aligning actions with purpose in your own life, and even build a motivation plan that actually works for you.
Sounds good.
So you see someone start off with incredible drive,
Right.
Hitting the gym every day, launching some new project with gusto, maybe even treating themselves to a little reward to keep that momentum going.
Right, like a little self-bribery.
Yeah, but then that spark fizzles out.
It's like it was never even there.
Right. Think about someone like Maria. She was determined to jog every day so she could finally buy those running shoes she'd been wanting.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
First week, she was a machine. By week 3, her trainers were gathering dust, and her motivation had completely disappeared.
It's a tale as old as time.
It is. And you have to ask yourself what went wrong. It seems like those external carrots, like those new shoes or an approaching deadline, can get us off the starting block.
For sure.
But leaning too heavily on those external pushes, because it's just a temporary boost.
Yeah, just a little push.
Just a push. And then
you fall right back down.
you fall right back down. And in fact, research suggests that if we constantly rely on rewards or fear of consequences, it can actually weaken our internal drive and make us less invested in what we're doing long term.
Yeah, we become dependent on them, and it actually undermines our natural motivation.
Right. So where does that motivation that lasts really come from? Our sources point to something fundamental, tapping into your own internal inspiration.
Exactly. It's all about finding that fire within.
Okay, so let's really unpack this idea of your why. It's not just about stating a goal like I want to lose weight, right? There's a much deeper layer to it, isn't there?
Absolutely. It's not just about the what you want to achieve, but the why. It's about understanding why it's important to you at your core. When you connect with that deeper purpose, even the most challenging tasks take on new meaning. And there's actually science behind this.
Okay.
Our sources highlight that having a strong sense of purpose is directly linked to greater resilience when facing setbacks and even lower stress levels.
Really?
On the flip side, feeling adrift without a clear understanding of what you're striving for, that's associated with more anxiety and poorer mental health.
That makes sense.
So knowing your why isn't just about getting things done, it's about your overall well-being and your ability to stay motivated in the long run.
That's a really powerful connection. So how do you, our listener, actually uncover this why? It's not like it's printed on your forehead. What are some practical ways to dig deep and find it?
Right, it takes some work. But our sources provide some really effective frameworks to help you. One powerful tool is a reflective journaling.
Oh, I love journaling.
Me too. The idea is to take some time to really think and write about the experiences that have resonated with you. Ask yourself questions like, when do I feel most energized and alive? Or what accomplishments am I most proud of and why?
That's a good question.
Right. And by regularly reflecting and writing these things down, you start to see patterns. Certain values or desires will pop up again and again, and these are clues to what truly drives you.
So it's like you're kind of like reverse engineering your own motivation.
Exactly. You're becoming a detective of your own inner world.
I love that. So for example, if you consistently feel fulfilled after helping a friend through a tough time, that could indicate that compassion or support is a core value for you.
Exactly.
Okay, so that sounds like a really accessible starting point, just taking quiet time to let those thoughts flow and identify those recurring themes. What's another method our sources suggest?
Another fascinating one is called the 5 whys method.
Okay.
Now, you might have heard of this in business or problem-solving contexts, but it's also great for personal discovery. You start with a goal or something you want, and you simply ask yourself why it's important to you. Then, whatever your answer is, you ask why again, and you keep going usually around 5 times until you reach a fundamental core reason.
So you're really digging down to the root of it.
Precisely. You're peeling back the layers.
I like that.
Yeah.
So could you give us an example of how someone might use the 5 whys to uncover their deeper motivation?
Absolutely. Let's say your goal is getting in better shape.
Okay, what would be a broad goal?
Very common. So you start by asking, why do I want to be in better shape? Maybe your first answer is because I want to lose weight.
Okay.
Then, why do I want to lose weight? Because I want to feel more confident. Why do I want to feel more confident? because I want to participate more fully in social activities without feeling self-conscious. Why is that important to me? Because I value connection and I want to build strong relationships with others. And one psychologist in our sources pointed out that just wanting to lose weight might not be enough to motivate you consistently, but the idea of having richer, more meaningful connections with people you care about, that's a much more powerful driver.
Yeah, that really clicks for me.
Right. It connects that initial goal to a deep value.
Yeah, it makes it less superficial.
Exactly.
So you're not just focused on the outcome, you're focused on the why behind it.
Exactly.
It's amazing how a simple line of questioning can lead to such profound self-awareness.
It's a powerful tool.
So what's the third framework?
The final one is value-based visualization. This is where you create a vivid mental picture of your future self having achieved your goal, but also living in a way that honors your values. So what does that future look like, sound like, feel like?
It's like a daydream.
Exactly, but with intention. So let's say you've stuck with that goal of getting healthier because you value vitality and experiencing life to the fullest. Imagine yourself a year from now hiking a trail with friends feeling strong and energized. How does that impact your mood, your interactions?
Yeah.
By emotionally connecting with these benefits, you clarify why your efforts matter. It's about linking those daily steps to a larger vision for your life.
So it's almost like giving yourself a sneak peek into the future.
Exactly. And that image can be so motivating when you're facing challenges or doubting yourself.
Yeah, because you can see the bigger picture.
Right. You're not just stuck in the day-to-day grind.
It gives you something to look forward to.
Exactly.
So we have these three frameworks, and our sources even provide a real-world example of someone who went through this process and really shifted their motivation.
Oh, yes. Tell me about it.
So we hear about James, a young professional who seems successful on the surface.
Okay.
Good job, decent salary. But he felt a real lack of motivation and fulfillment.
It's like that classic golden handcuffs situation.
Yeah, exactly. And through self-reflection, James realized that one of his core values was making a positive impact on the world.
Okay.
Something his day-to-day work didn't really align with.
Right.
So he started volunteering in his spare time, and he used the 5 whys method to examine his career aspirations.
Interesting.
And he discovered that his deeper why wasn't about climbing the corporate ladder, but about using his skills to contribute to something meaningful.
So it was less about status and more about making a difference.
Exactly. And this realization led him to propose a new project at work, one that allowed him to directly help clients in a more significant way.
I love that.
And his motivation at work completely shifted.
Wow, that's amazing.
Getting out of bed became easier because his work felt purposeful and connected to his core values.
It's amazing how aligning your actions with your values can have such a transformative impact.
Right. And that's the key takeaway for our listener. By actively discovering your values and the deeper purpose behind your goals, you can unlock a much more sustainable form of motivation. It's not about chasing external rewards, but about being driven by something truly meaningful to you.
Couldn't agree more. It's about finding that internal compass that guides you.
Exactly. But uncovering your why is just the first step. The next crucial part is making sure your actions are aligned with it.
Right. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. Which brings us to aligning actions with purpose. So it's not enough to just understand your values, you have to live by them day to day.
Exactly. And our sources emphasize that motivation thrives when your daily choices and activities are in harmony with your core values.
So it's like a symphony where everything is working together in harmony.
Yes. It's about creating a sense of flow and alignment in your life.
And they use a really insightful analogy. It's like paddling a canoe downstream with the current versus struggling to paddle upstream against it.
Ooh, I like that one.
Right. When your actions reflect what you care about, progress feels natural and motivation becomes self-sustaining.
It just flows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when there's a disconnect, when your actions don't match your values, it creates internal friction.
Yeah. And that can be exhausting.
It is. In psychology, it's called cognitive dissonance, and it can drain your energy and motivation.
It's like you're constantly battling yourself.
Exactly. And our sources even share a story about someone who achieved what looked like external success, but still felt deeply unfulfilled.
Oh, I think I remember this one.
We learned about Malin, an architect who had achieved significant professional success.
Okay.
Respected in her field, earning a good income, but she felt unhappy and burnt out.
That's so common, especially in high-pressure fields.
Yeah, her career had consumed her life, pushing aside everything else she valued.
It's like she had achieved the dream, but it had become a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. And she'd been chasing those external markers of success, the accolades, the promotions, but her life felt empty and meaningless.
It's a reminder that true success is about so much more than just external achievements.
Right, and her relationship suffered. Her creativity felt stifled, and the joy she'd once found in her work had vanished.
It's like all the things that truly mattered to her were being neglected.
And Malin's experience shows how burnout can happen when our actions and goals aren't rooted in our values.
Yeah, it's a cautionary tale.
But it's not just about feeling down. There's actually a neurological element to this sense of alignment, isn't there?
Absolutely. Neuroscience research suggests that when we pursue goals that are consistent with our values, our brain's reward system becomes more active.
So our brain is literally rewarding us for
Mhm.
being true to ourselves.
Exactly. It's like we get a little dopamine hit when we're living in alignment with our values.
I like that. So in Malin's case, her turning point came when she took time to identify her core values, which included creativity, genuine connection with others, and making a positive contribution to her community.
Oh.
And she realized she'd been drawn to architecture for its potential to create spaces that benefit people. But somewhere along the way, she'd lost sight of that. Why?
It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and lose sight of the bigger picture.
Yeah, and she'd become focused solely on external validation. So by consciously choosing projects that aligned with her values and saying no to those that didn't in it, her passion and motivation for her work were reignited.
She rediscovered her purpose.
Exactly. And her definition of success shifted from external recognition to internal fulfillment.
That's a really important shift.
It is. And it's not just one person's experience. Research backs this up. Studies consistently show that people who live in alignment with their values experience higher well-being and life satisfaction.
Yeah, it makes sense when you think about it. When your daily life reflects what truly matters to you, you feel a sense of purpose and integrity.
Right. And a meta-analysis highlighted in our sources found a strong link between what they called valued living, making choices based on your values, and a lower risk of depression and anxiety.
So living by your values can have a profound impact on your mental health.
It can. And when it comes to goals, those that are tied to your core values, like personal growth, strengthening family bonds, or contributing to your community, tend to inspire greater commitment than goals driven by external rewards or pressures.
Because they're coming from a place of authenticity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for our listener, how can you start bringing your daily actions into better alignment with your why? And it doesn't necessarily mean making massive changes overnight, does it?
No, not at all. It's often about small, consistent adjustments to your daily routine.
Okay, little tweaks here and there.
Exactly. Think of it as fine-tuning your habits to reflect your internal drivers.
Okay, so give us an example.
For instance, if a sense of purpose is a key value, make sure your daily to-do list includes at least one task that contributes to one of your bigger goals.
Okay.
Let's say your purpose is to become a nurse. Even spending 30 minutes studying each day reinforces that connection.
Right. It's a step in the right direction.
Exactly. And the key is to evaluate your activities based on how well they align with your objectives.
So it's about being mindful and intentional with your time.
Precisely.
What if one of your core values is about relationships?
If you value being present in your relationships, you might establish a habit like putting your phone away for an hour each evening to have quality time with family or loved ones.
Yeah, creating that sacred space.
Exactly. This small action sends a powerful signal that your relationships are a priority, and it allows you to truly connect.
And those genuine connections can really fuel us.
Absolutely.
What about if your core values are around creativity or personal growth?
If that's you, consider dedicating even just 15 or 20 minutes each day to something that nourishes that value. It could be journaling, sketching, learning a new language, playing an instrument, or pursuing a hobby.
Yeah, like giving yourself permission to be creative.
Exactly. Treat this time as an important appointment with yourself.
Yeah, like a date with your creativity.
Exactly. And these regular bursts of creative expression or personal development can be so revitalizing.
Because you're honoring a part of yourself.
Precisely.
It sounds like the real magic is in the consistency of these small, value-aligned actions. It's not about grand gestures, but the cumulative effect of those daily choices.
Absolutely. It's about making those small changes that add up over time.
And when your daily life reflects your values, motivation becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural byproduct.
Exactly. You'll likely find yourself procrastinating less, relying less on willpower because you're drawn to activities that resonate with you.
It becomes more effortless.
In a way, yes. And on those tough days when motivation dips, aligning with your values acts as a reminder of your why, helping you push through.
It's like an anchor.
Exactly. And ultimately, it creates a positive feedback loop. Values-driven actions lead to positive reinforcement, which fuels the drive to continue.
It's a beautiful cycle.
It is.
So this brings us to creating a tangible plan to put all these insights into action. How do we build this motivation plan our sources talk about?
Turning these ideas into action is key. Lasting motivation isn't a one-time thing, it's an ongoing process.
Right, it's a journey.
Exactly. And it's about establishing that cycle we talked about. Purpose fuels actions. Actions lead to fulfillment and inspiration deepens purpose.
And a personal motivation plan is like a roadmap for that journey.
Precisely.
Okay, so where should our listener begin?
First, write down your top 1 to 3 whys. These are concise statements capturing what drives you in different areas of your life. Maybe it's your health, your career, your relationships, or your personal growth.
Okay, so for example.
You could write something like, I want to prioritize my health so I have the energy to fully engage in life and spend quality time with loved ones.
Okay.
Or, I want to build my own business because I value autonomy and bringing my creative ideas to life.
Okay, so once you've articulated your whys, what's next?
Under each why, list specific realistic actions or habits that support that purpose. For the health example, it could be, I'll walk for 30 minutes 3 times a week.
Yeah.
For the business example, it might be, I'll dedicate 2 evenings a week to my side project.
Okay, so making it tangible. And our sources also talk about having strategies for those times when motivation dips or we face setbacks.
That's crucial. It's like having a plan B.
Right.
So identify and write down 1 or 2 inspiration habits that you can turn to when you're feeling discouraged. Maybe it's calling a supportive friend, reading a gratitude journal, or doing a hobby that re-energizes you.
Yeah, like a little pick-me-up.
Exactly. And by thinking about these in advance, you're creating a safety net for your motivation.
So it's all about being proactive.
Exactly.
This whole process seems like it's about setting yourself up for success.
Absolutely. By identifying your values, planning actions that honor them, and having strategies for staying inspired, you're designing your environment to support your motivation.
It's like you're creating a motivational ecosystem.
I like that.
And our sources say that creating this plan and tracking your progress can really strengthen your accountability and deepen your connection to your purpose.
It makes it more real and tangible.
Yeah, like a written contract with yourself. And there are even therapeutic exercises that encourage people to identify small daily steps that align with their values and to track their progress.
It's about bringing those values into your everyday life.
Right. So a journal or checklist can be really helpful for this.
For sure. It helps you stay on track and see how far you've come.
So this plan isn't meant to be rigid, but more of a flexible framework that you can adapt as you learn and grow.
Absolutely. Your values and goals may evolve, and that's okay. If something isn't working, don't be afraid to revisit and adjust your plan. The key is to remember that you're in control.
Right. It's your journey.
Exactly.
It's empowering to realize we're not just at the mercy of fleeting inspiration, but that we can cultivate our own motivation.
That's the beauty of it. You have the power within you.
And if you've struggled with motivation in the past, it wasn't because of lack of willpower, but maybe a lack of the right fuel, your why, or a clear map, a plan to align your life with that purpose.
Exactly. Motivation is like a fire. It needs the right fuel and the right conditions to burn brightly.
And by finding your why, aligning your actions and cultivating inspiration, you're setting yourself up for a more energized and meaningful life.
A life that's true to you.
Exactly. Think about people you admire. Their drive likely comes from a strong sense of purpose and consistent habits.
And you have that same potential within you.
So start by asking yourself what truly drives you. Embrace that self-discovery and let it guide your actions.
It's an exciting journey.
It is. And once you tap into that why, there's no limit to how far your inspiration can take you.
It's true. The possibilities are endless.
That's a really inspiring thought to end on. Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive into motivation.
My pleasure. It's a topic I'm passionate about.
And thank you to our listener for joining us. If you found this valuable, please follow our channel and share this with anyone who might benefit from understanding the power of their why. Until next time.